Hello lovelies, in this video we're going to be looking at meiosis for your GCSE biology. Now meiosis has 4 vowels in it and it makes 4 daughter cells. This is not to be confused with mitosis, which has a T in it and makes 2 daughter cells. The spelling of these is very similar, but they are very different things, so please make sure you get it correct, spelt correctly in the exams.
Meiosis. So first of all, let's think about the differences between mitosis and meiosis, because we've looked at mitosis already. So mitosis produces 2 genetically identical cells. It's used to replace damaged or old cells. Notice I said the word replaced here. It's not used to repair cells. You can't repair cells. It just replaces them when they die or if they are damaged. It is also how organisms make new cells to grow. Meiosis produces 4 non-identical cells that contain half the number of chromosomes. These are known as gametes. It's really useful because it allows fertilization to then occur. It allows us to increase the genetic variation in our offspring. So if you think about the 2 points I made at the end for mitosis and meiosis, that's the why. Why do we need 2 different types of cell division? We need mitosis to replace damaged cells or to repair tissues, and we need it to grow, so to build new cells and to get bigger. For meiosis, we need it so that fertilization can occur because we need those chromosomes to be halved, the number, and it helps us by increasing genetic variation in our offspring, so through sexual reproduction. Let's have a think about where meiosis happens. Meiosis occurs in reproductive organs. In humans, this happens in the ovaries, where meiosis produces egg cells, and also in the testes, where meiosis produces sperm cells. Plants also carry out sexual reproduction, so they also need gametes to be made by meiosis. So the male part of the flower is the anthers, and in meiosis there produces pollen, which is the gamete, and in the ovary, the meiosis produces eggs. So in meiosis, we are looking at the production of gametes. So we're going to use human gametes as an example here. So we have our egg cell, which is our female gamete, and our sperm cell, which is our male gamete. Both of them contain 23 unpaired chromosomes in their nucleus. When they fuse together during fertilization, they form a fertilized egg cell, which then becomes a zygote. When the nuclei fuse together, we get 46 chromosomes or 23 pairs. They become the paired chromosomes that we talk about because you have 1 chromosome from each gamete. So you have a chromosome 1 from the egg cell and a chromosome 1 from the sperm cell, and they become a pair of chromosome 1s. And then you have chromosome 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. So this is why we need meiosis, to produce these haploid gametes, so haploid remember being half the number of chromosomes, so that the full number of chromosomes, or the diploid number, can be restored when they fuse during fertilization to create a new cell. So here you can see all of those pairs of chromosomes, the 23 pairs laid out as they would be in a human nucleus. So each one of these pairs, remember, comes from each gamete. So all of my purple chromosomes here came from parent 1 or could come from the egg cell, and then all of the green chromosomes came from the sperm cell. So this is just to show you that 1 chromosome from each pair comes from each parent or each gamete.
Diploid cells have pairs of chromosomes. There's 23 pairs in every cell in humans. Each pair is made up of a chromosome from each parent.
They're not identical copies because they came from 2 different parents and they can carry different alleles. So although they carry the same genes, so chromosome 1 genes will be the same on the paternal chromosome as on the maternal chromosome, the alleles for those genes could be different. So for example, the gene for hair colour, you could have a blonde hair allele on 1 chromosome and a brown hair allele on the other chromosome. So here's my example. I have a homologous pair of chromosome in my nucleus, and the red purple coloured one is from parent 1 and the orange coloured one is from parent 2. So this constitutes a homologous pair. When these chromosomes replicate, which we know happens during the cell cycle, they then look like two cross shapes, a pair of cross-shaped chromosomes. So the two purple ones are identical because they have been replicated. They are copies of the parent 1 chromosome and they are identical. But the orange and the purple chromosomes are non-identical because they are from different parents. You need to be able to recognise chromosomes, replicated chromosomes, and homologous pairs of chromosomes in diagrams like this, so that if you are shown a diagram, you can tell whether that cell is going through mitosis or meiosis, if the DNA has been replicated or if it has not. Okay, so let's look at the steps or the process of meiosis. So we'll start with a parent cell. So this cell is diploid and it has 4 chromosomes. This is an example, obviously. Then the DNA is replicated. So you can see here I've gone from having 4 chromosomes and each one of those has copied itself. So there's now 4 replicated chromosomes, or 8 chromosomes. Then we go through the first division. So we divide the cell into 2 and each cell has 4 chromosomes. And then, unlike mitosis, we go through a second round of division. So those 2 cells split into 4 cells, and these are 4 gametes. And you'll see that they've all only got 2 chromosomes in. So from when we started, we had 4 chromosomes in our parent cell, and each of these gametes now has 2 chromosomes. So this shows you that we have halved the chromosome number, so they are haploid cells. You'll see as well that there's like different colours on the chromosomes. So we did have all yellow and all red chromosomes. And then at stage 2, when they split, they actually have a mix of yellow and red on some of the chromosomes. This is where some of the genes swap over from one chromosome to another. So it makes all of those individual chromosomes unique to each other when they swap over. So that is how we get completely genetically different cell for each gamete. Once fertilization of 2 gametes has occurred then, so an egg and a sperm cell fusing, then we create a cell called a zygote. So you can see there's a fertilized egg cell there that has 2 nuclei, and then when they fuse together to make one nucleus, we call it a zygote, which is the first cell. And then that cell starts to divide by mitosis because it's trying to grow new cells and get larger. So that's creating identical cell copies. So it divides many times. So we go from 2 to 4 to 8 to 16 and so on. And that starts to form the embryo, which is the ball of cells. And that will continue to grow by mitosis, and then cells will start to differentiate, and that's how we start to develop into a new human.
Ouch! This is why in some videos I'll explain scratches.